What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Recoup. I'm your host, Cooper Daniels, and today is Wednesday. What? May 28th? Time flies when your jaw is clenched closed. I feel like I'm a little better. Finally got all that work done. Still will not be able to survive on sucking cock. Just kidding. What's going on, everybody? Yeah, anyways, if you don't understand, you're just tuning in. I got a root canal, and somehow they traumatized the muscle or the nerve or something back here, and I haven't been able to open up my jaw for like a month. I mean, like this. No hamburgers, but I feel a little better. I just realized trying to open it that it still sucks, but hey, what am I going to do? You know what I mean? Sometimes shit happens, folks. Sometimes shit happens. There was a conversation in a chat recently about cholesterol and all of these people complaining about having higher cholesterol. I got my blood taken recently, and it showed a slight elevation of cholesterol, and it told me to calm down on the saturated fats. And I made a joke. If I probably got more head, I would probably have lower cholesterol. So that ties into the joke of me sucking cock. What am I doing? Why am I doing this? And why am I talking about that? You know what I'm saying? I don't even own a Jeep anymore, folks. It's all falling apart. There's a lot of shit going on, right? A lot of shit going. The Bitcoin conference in Las Vegas. What a scary place to be with all your Bitcoin. Hope nobody's walking around with one of those ledger necklaces right now. In Las Vegas, a bunch of degenerate gamblers being like, ooh, they like Bitcoin. That means that all of their money is on their phone. Not if you're a smart Bitcoiner. Certainly not on my phone, folks. So, yeah. So what do we got? I don't even know. Gamestop bought about 5,000 Bitcoin. I saw that announcement. Eric Adams, the mayor of New York, is a Bitcoiner. He's been a Bitcoiner for a while. At the same time that the mayor of Miami, Suarez, I think his name is, announced that he would take his salary in Algorand, in Bitcoin. And he was ridiculed for his Bitcoin support. He's going all in, folks. He's going all in. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. We'll read about it because I'm curious what he announced for New York. Speaking of that time, right, where Miami was announcing Algorand and Bitcoin support. And that was like exciting, right? And then even in El Salvador, where they got Bitcoin for the first time, I think Algorand got screwed, folks. I think El Salvador fucked Algorand and probably, what's that thing called? It's the name of the place, the company that was doing all of the Latin American integrations. All I can think of is fucking Travel X right now. What's it called? The Beard? Yeah, it's Beard. Beard's back. BlackRock. Oh, BlackRock on Algorand. We're seeing. Speaking of Algorand, what is that name? Not Quantos. What was they did all the stuff. They were doing all the records in El Salvador were going to be on Algorand. They did the Colombian COVID passport that everybody loved. What was it? Damn. You guys are going to do it. Once you guys catch up to this part of the story, you're going to put it in the chat. The fuck, man? Why can't I remember? I haven't heard much from them lately. Anyways, fine. The point is, the current news is that we're starting to see treasuries on the Algorand blockchain. So that's cool. It's good. It's all good. I don't even know what price has been doing. Oh, fuck. It's like on the tip of my tongue. Oh my God. It's upsetting me that I can't. So anyways, BlackRock on Algorand, quantum secure history. BlackRock be thinking ahead. They recently said something. Oh yeah, this jaw is tired. Fuck. They recently said they put out some concern about Bitcoin and no, not Strike, Bitcoin and it's the Algorand centric, or they were Algorand centric for a while. It's Latin American. Like in Argentina and all them. Anyways, okay, what was I talking about? Anyways, we're just hanging out, folks. We're just hanging out. You know what I mean? But this is throwing me off. Okay, let me just fucking figure this out. What the hell is it called? It's the Koi Banks. Koi Banks. Riley Lewis, you win 10,000 ammo. All right? I'm going to send you, if you have a Voy wallet, I'm going to send you 10,000 ammo. He won. Koi Banks. Thank you. Caddy Smooth, you get 10,000 ammo too for trying. There you go. 20,000. Voys, anybody from the Voy community, if you guys want, no, it's Koi Banks. If you guys want the ammo, let me know. Riley and Caddy Smooth, you just won 10,000 ammo. I don't even know what that's worth at this point, but you won it. You won it. Both you two, Riley and Caddy Smooth. So just DM me on Twitter. If I don't follow you, I will. And give me your Voy wallet, and I'll send it later on today. I meant to give away some ammo many weeks ago. So I'm sure that those guys are like, when is he going to give away that ammo? And now I'm doing it. I don't have a Voy wallet. Well, I don't know what to tell you, man. You don't have to. You don't have to. You can get one, though. It's easy. You can go get a Cabissus wallet if you want. I don't know. Whatever you want to do, dude. Anyways, okay. So let's get off Twitter. They did it. It's Koi Banks. And the point is that I'm pretty sure that El Salvador fucked over Algorand. And it was probably because of, another name. Wow, this is like really bad. This is bad today. The Bitcoin, Max Kaiser. Probably because of Max Kaiser. All right. So let's go to CNBC real quick. Let's see what the stock market's doing and maybe get this show back on track. Knocking off the rust, apparently. Okay, the brain. Sometimes I think my brain is good. Today, it doesn't feel like it's all that good. All right, here we go. Let's put me in the picture. I didn't realize I haven't really been talking as much. I think that is why. Oh, by the way, folks, I went to Palm Springs this weekend for a basketball tournament. My kid crushed it, and they won the championship. So that's fucking cool, right? All right, let's look at CNBC real quick, see what's going on in the mainstream media. It looks like we're all waiting for NVIDIA earnings. So we're looking at some pretty sideways action. The Dow is down 133 points, 0.33%. S&P 500 is doing a little better. And then the NASDAQ is essentially even money. Russell 2K underperforming all three. Treasuries are in the green. Not necessarily what you want to see. About 4.5%. Oil, 62 green. Gold, 3,300. Still pretty crazy. That gold is all the way up to 3,300. It's wild. I know a lot of you own crypto and gold and silver, and we're winning right now, folks. In some ways. Oh shoot! So we all know about the Bitcoin conference dump, and it looks like we're getting a little of that. They wanted to get it underneath the GameStop price because I think GameStop got it at about 108,000. Is that? I mean, guys, are you? Oh, that's what I was talking about earlier, the quantum thing. But for a second, can you believe that GameStop in 2025 has now spent $500 million, and they're going to spend much more, of buying Bitcoin? Isn't that crazy? That's crazy. What's concerning is all of these treasury companies spinning up these vehicles, copying Michael Saylor because it's been an infinite money glitch. That does seem like we're headed towards a bubble, but most people don't seem concerned, which obviously could be the indicator of a bubble. But I don't know, man. And then you got BlackRock warning about quantum security, which from the very beginning of BlackRock custodying or being responsible for all of this massive amount of Bitcoin, and then having the fine print say, you know, in the inevitable or in the event of a fork and all this, it does seem like they're going to use quantum security as a reason to fork Bitcoin, and that, you know, so you can go down that road. But hopefully the guys at Bitcoin Core, Jack Dorsey, other big money people, Michael Saylor, if he's truly dedicated to Bitcoin, which I think we all hope is true, and I think most of us think that's true, you know, put their firepower behind making Bitcoin quantum secure. Now, Algorand does have Falcon keys, which is interesting, but does that actually protect the wallets? I think that's the main concern right now, is not that Bitcoin itself can be hacked. It's the wallets where all the Bitcoin are stored could be compromised. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? All right, let's keep going. Stocks are a little changed. These pictures are always so funny. This is how he looks, little changed. Okay, we got Trump says he's not chickening out on trade. It's called negotiation. Oh my God. Somebody said that he was chickening out. Elon Musk says Trump's spending bill undermines Doge's work. This, man. I mean, do you want me to opine on Elon Musk? What a tragedy, I think. Especially for all my friends that have, there's so many people I know, not so many people, like what the fuck, but there's a few people I know that have most of their savings in Tesla, which is performing pretty well. So if they want to exit, I suppose it's fine. But I just, you know, Elon Musk put so much of his reputation into this when his core business is appealing to people that are more likely going to be oppositional to the politics of what he's been doing. But something in me says that he really thought that he could go in and slash a bunch of shit and be a hero. And then it turned out that now the Republicans aren't going to do any of that shit. And certainly in Europe, the Tesla brand has been absolutely decimated. Now it can come back. He's building robots to replace all of us. So, you know, there's still hope. But I do have some empathy for weirdo Elon Musk. Good luck, man. All right. Ba-ba-da-da-da-da. Anthropic appoints Netflix chairman Reed Hastings to AI startups board of directors. DOJ investigates California over trans athletes after Trump threatens funding. I mean, it's just like, dude, just if you're an athlete, you got to go with your birth sex, okay? Like, stop it. Like, stop trying to gaslight us like it's okay, okay? Nobody wants it except for you and some people that are way more, I guess, empathetic than I am. I just don't see it. I don't like it. And my empathy goes to, you know, predominantly women, of course, because no woman is turning into a man and becoming an NFL football player. But I just think it's the stupidest shit ever. It's kind of like defund the police. It's kind of like now what they're doing in San Francisco where they're like, oh, and 80%'s an A. And it doesn't matter if you come to school or do your homework. It's not going to affect. We're going to have an equitable education system. Shut the fuck up. Nobody agrees with you. Stop it. Who is funding these people? Stop it. Abercrombie and Fitch is back. All right, we're done. Let's see. GameStop drops 9%. Why isn't it pumping? I thought you would pump me. Maybe they're like, well, you bought the top, bro. I hope it's not the top. GameStop said Wednesday it has officially bought 4,710 Bitcoins, 4,710 Bitcoins worth more than $500 million as the video game retailer began its crypto purchasing plan in a similar move made famous by MicroStrategy. The purchase, its first investment in Bitcoin, was worth $512 million with Bitcoin's price of 108.8. The world's largest cryptocurrency has been on a tear lately, hitting a record high near 112. Shares of GameStop dipped to 9% in morning trading following the news. The meme stock is up about 8% this year. As of February the 1st, the company has amassed 4.76 billion cash pile, according to its annual report. Ryan Cohen made an appearance at the Bitcoin 2025 conference in Las Vegas Wednesday following the announcement. In a pre-recorded video, he said GameStop's decision to buy Bitcoin is driven by macro concerns, as the digital coin with its fixed supply and decentralized nature could serve as protection against certain risks. If the thesis is correct, Bitcoin and gold gold as well, can be a hedge against global currency devaluation and systemic risk. Bitcoin has certain unique advantages compared to gold, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so he's becoming a Bitcoiner. That's good enough. All right, let's go to the block. Let's see what we got coming in that is all crypto. Is the block not the right place to go? U.S. Labor Department reverses course on crypto and 401ks, accuses Biden administration of placing thumb on the scale. Looks like ETH is outperforming right now. We'll look at that on CoinMarketCap. Katana, what is that? Okay, White House crypto czar David Sachs says there is a pathway to acquiring more Bitcoin for the U.S. Strategic Reserve. During a fireside chat with the Winklevoss twins, David Sachs outlined how the U.S. Strategic Bitcoin Reserve could acquire more Bitcoin beyond the existing seized funds. About 200,000 Bitcoin already owned by the federal government. Additionally, Trump directed Scott Bessent and Howard Lutnick to develop budget-neutral strategies for acquiring additional Bitcoin. I mean, are you guys like reading that? Shut up, bro. The executive order established a strategic Bitcoin reserve that has allowed the government to purchase more if it can be done in a budget-neutral way. Specifically, if either the Commerce Department or the Treasury Department can figure out how to fund it without adding to the debt, then they are allowed to create these programs. Potential budget-neutral strategies could include U.S. Treasury exchange stabilization fund surpluses, selling special drawing rights issued by the IMF, or a gold certificate revaluation. If we can convince Howard Lutnick, not hard, or Scott Bessent, maybe a little harder, to buy some, and they can figure out how to fund it without a new tax or without adding to the debt, then we could potentially acquire more Bitcoin. So what David Sachs is saying, Howard Lutnick, the custodian for Tether, longtime Bitcoin bull, Scott Bessent, who has been no foe of Bitcoin, if they can figure out ways for the United States of America to buy Bitcoin, they can. I don't know if this bull run is over yet, folks. I feel like we have more to go. Okay, we don't need to read this whole article, though. I think we get the weed launches. What? All right. I feel like that wasn't enough. Where are they? Where are they talking about? It's a bunch of nonsense. Let's just go real quick to CoinDesk. All right. Oh, they're going to make me sign up for a fucking article or an account, aren't they? Bitcoin pulls back to 107K, but NYDIG analysis suggests market far from overheated. We probably need to get this Bitcoin conference news from Twitter, huh? Let's go there. Make sure I'm not in my DMs. Okay. Vice President JD Vance delivers remarks at Bitcoin 2025. That's intense.
But this is definitely the biggest crowd I've ever seen. Holy cow. So, you know, what's cool about this conference? Please, thank you guys. Take your seats. And, you know, the Secret Service is a little bit nervous because I told them these Bitcoin guys really like guns. But they really like the President and Vice President of the United States, too, so I think we're doing okay.
I don't like how political it is, but okay.
So I first have to thank David Bailey. Grateful for everything that you've done. I think really helped break the dam in Silicon Valley, because if you remember, you go back to June or July of last year, it feels like forever ago. It's not even a year ago, where Silicon Valley, you know, people would whisper in private that they were going to support Donald Trump for president. They would talk about the bureaucrats.
I'll watch this on my own. I will watch that, though. I'm curious. All right, JD Vance just took a flamethrower to the ruling class at the Bitcoin conference. He said crypto is the last hedge against corrupt elites, rigged systems, and weaponized tech. I mean, bro, he gets it. He gets it. It's a hedge against skyrocketing inflation, which has eroded the savings rate of Americans over the last 4 years. And as you all well know, it's a hedge against the private sector that's increasingly willing to discriminate against consumers on the basis of their basic beliefs, including their politics. That includes, of course, debanking users for Second Amendment advocacy or for ties to the first Trump administration. I mean, look, folks. If you are going to, I mean, if we're going to talk politics so much, like if you see what's happening in Europe with like the censorship and all of that shit, like they're getting a little creepy over there. So, I mean, let freedom ring. You know what I'm saying? Wait, I still want to look. Okay, it's not all JD Vance, is it? Let freedom ring. You heard it first here on the Recoup. Okay, I'll watch Ryan Cohen. Oh, it's only 5 minutes.
From Gamestop. What's up, Ryan?
What's up? How are ya?
Doing well, man. I'm enjoying these Bitcoin prices. How about you?
It's all good.
Well, let's get started. We're talking innovative corporate strategy.
Okay, we're not doing that right now. GameStop is following GameStop's strategy. We are not following anyone else. I think GameStop can actually win. Look at these people. Okay, there's nothing. So we had GameStop. Okay, we're done. Sorry that we're just scrolling, looking for GameStop news. Not GameStop news. I mean, I do own some GameStop, so I guess GameStop news wouldn't be so bad. But it's down 10%. It'll go back up. Ether likely building energy to smash through 3K. Okay, we're done. Let's go look at prices. They're buying the dip. So it's making its way back up. I mean, are you guys depressed? Are you sad? Are you feeling angst about Bitcoin only being $107,703, $4? Does that make you upset? Are you worried about your children's future at that price? Jesus. ETH getting back to being alive. Solana 170. How's the volume? Volume is okay. It's pretty good. Doge 22. Sweet. We haven't talked about it, but there was that hack for about that DEX on what is it? Cetus on Sui. And then they all coordinated very, very, very quickly to freeze funds and make sure everybody got their money back. Not very decentralized, but you didn't hear it here first. Okay, Hyperliquid is becoming all the rage, up to 12, which is wild, up 27% in the last 7 days. Avalanche, just hanging out at 23. Polkadot is down a little bit across the board at 450. Aptos, the forgotten friend of the Move movement, is at $5, 528. VeChain, what's the deal? Why is VeChain? What are they doing? They're doing supply chain stuff. Like, what is the deal with VeChain? Why does AJ like VeChain so much, other than the fact that they obviously hook them up pretty well? What's the angle? Like, why do we like it so much? I want to know. If you're like a VeChain bull, I would love to know what your thesis is. Algorand not doing great, down 3.5% in the last 24 hours, out of the top 50, sub 22 cents, 21 and whatever, a little more than 21.5 cents. Stacks on Stacks is also in the red, and there we go. That's the end of the story. Let's look at Vestige real quick. It's all down. Wonder why Alpha Arcade is dumping. They got all the way back up over 5. When was this? This is the 1 day? No, that was not the 1 day. I feel like Vestige could use some work. All right, or Vestige. Monco down. Okay, let's look. Fish sticks. They're back, baby. They're pumping it. The sticks are fish. Okay, let's go. You have to, in order to look at everything. Monco is still holding on to $1 million market cap, but down 25% nearly in the last 7 days. KuCoin is for the gains and the things you're going to get. Down 5.5% over the last 7 days, but up at 0.5%. Alpha Arcade down 17% in the last 7 days. So we had some people that bought at the 4 cent, and maybe there was an earlier cheaper tranche that cashed out at 5 cents. It's gonna be okay. It's a pretty cool. They are a supporter of the show, and it's a great app on Algorand. It's a prediction market. If you own Alpha, you earn a portion of the fees on the platform. And if you look at the Tiny Man governance voting, I think they're going to have a pretty nice farm for the Alpha USDC pool. So that looks cool. Market cap is sub 5 million. I like the token. All right. Coop Algo all the way up there, baby. Look at that. Living free. This is Algo that earns rewards, consensus rewards in the Coop. So it's consistent buy pressure from for Coop. And then obviously this is from Myth Finance, and you can do that with some other tokens as well. Coop was the first. Fish Sticks is in fact down 51% in the last week, but it is bouncing back a touch currently. All right. Bitcoin Gold, I'm just hovering around 32 and a half. 32 and like what, 32.6 ounces of gold to a Bitcoin. Pretty good. The dollar gaining some strength, I guess, on the one day, but it's in the green in the last month. So the dollar has been strengthening. All right, what do you guys got? You guys got any comments here? This chat is only, I have to look at the YouTube chat to see any of the talking. So weird. But okay, so let's go to the chat real quick. Let's have some fun on the chat. Actually, before I go to the chat, I should make myself big. Stop screen sharing. There we go. All right. So BlackRock on Algorand. Okay, quantum secure history. BlackRock be thinking ahead. Cope. What's up, Caddy Smo? Beard's back. Koi Banks. We did that. Latam. Yep. I don't have a Voy wallet. It's okay. The Algo wallets work usually on Voy as well. It's the same tech. Caddy Smo whom? I can't seem to DM you. I'm Barack on Algo. Okay. I will. I'll find you. Someone should do it on Algorand. It does not. But Bitcoin wallets will be hacked sooner than Algo wallets. GM Lord Shitcoin. I'm not sharing. All right. You guys didn't say anything particularly interesting. It was Bilal's fault. Then we're over here. We got Maza. Fill the room with ammo, then light a match. Hey, man, stop talking about my town. It was Bilal's fault. What did Bilal do? Bilal made an inappropriate comment, seemingly got funding cut off, and Stacy clapped back. Yep. All right. Well, folks, hey, look. Sometimes I have a good show. Sometimes I have an okay show. And other times I have a show like what we did today. I've tried, man. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Look, we're at this place. We're talking about this stuff. We're spending so much of our life focused on numbers on a screen. At least there's a good camaraderie amongst a lot of us. I feel like I've made a lot of friends in this industry. Virtual friends for the most part, but people I like and oftentimes trust. So that's cool. Just feels like at some point I need this to align with my own values. You know what I mean? And if it doesn't, then I don't want to support it. But it does for the most part. It's just like when I see things, it just seems like we've completely lost our way for from where and why we ever even got here. Not necessarily probably you that's watching the show right now, but it does seem to me that there's always been grifters, there's always been a scam, there's always been a pump and dump in so many different ways, but it just feels like too many people don't give a shit anymore. They just want number go up. Nobody cares. Like, just, I want to make enough money. That's it. It's just like, that's it. And that's good. I want you to make money. I want to make money. We all want to make money. But at the same time, if this industry is going to last, it can't be Donald Trump's industry. It can't be just a meme fucking casino. It can't just be decentralization LARPing. Like, it just has to be on its own and has to really provide freedom, like they're talking about at the Bitcoin conference. That's not just reliant on centralized figures or a few validators where you have to have hundreds of millions of dollars to run one and have a best friend where you can kind of coordinate with a few people to make it seem like maybe it's decentralized when it's not even nearly close to being decentralized. I mean, maybe you're like, oh my God, it's so fucking, who cares, bro? Just the fact that it is cross borders. And for the most part, until we piss somebody off, we can't be censored. Well, that's not resilient, because look, you see how like I mentioned earlier, like how they're overreaching across the pond when it comes to social media posts and stuff. You don't think that they'll put pressure on people, to threaten people with jail, life ruining fines, or whatever the fuck they need to do to censor shit? Of course they're going to do that. So if you don't actually support why the censorship resistance, the decentralization, the what that provides, then you are only here as a LARP. You're just trying to make gains, and that's valid because that's freedom for you. So I understand. Like, if you really are just truly like, look, I don't really give a fuck about any of that. I'm just here right now trying to make life-changing money to bring more freedom to my family, then that's fucking genuine, and it is what it is. And I hope you win, because I want everybody to win. But if you are going to spend your life and time and energy in the industry and you're just looking at the number and you don't really give a fuck about it, that's a sad life. So I don't know, find something to believe in. Maybe maybe that's where I'm at right now, and I need to recalibrate and really believe in this again. So I have a positive message to share, and I'm not just worried about the behavior of some bankers. You know what I mean? Because who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? What I want to see for something like Algorand is exactly what John Woods, I believe, put into play. And it is further and more robust decentralization, peer-to-peer. And that's exciting. You're seeing the validator count grow. And that's that. And I mean, so that's good. You know what I mean? I really believe in what Polkadot's doing as well in that way. I'm not the most technically amazing person, but by all accounts, and certainly if you're going to respect the Nakamoto coefficient, like, yeah, dude, they're killing it in decentralization. Now, I think probably my issue is that I'm not very good at pandering to an audience. So, I mean, I'm excited about that, but their community is not excited about me. Probably because I told them that they suck. Worst one in crypto. That might have been part of it. I think I insulted their biggest DAO and probably the most influential group in Polkadot. I wonder why they don't like me. Doesn't matter. And then I'm on Algorand poking the bear constantly, where some of you like that because you're like, you know that I'm not bot, and that's a good thing. But I don't know. I don't even know what I'm talking about. But I'm not bot. That's for sure. Somebody buy me. All right, go, guys. Anyways, I think you get it. I think you get what I'm saying. I hope that jaw heals up. Hard to be motivated these days. That's right. What's up, Coop? What's up, Mike? Caddy Smooth. Hope that jaw heals up. Algo community is great. Hopefully we moon soon. That's for sure. Everything that he just said. I appreciate you, Caddy Smooth. I do need this jaw to fucking heal. It does feel like it's making progress, which is making me feel like it will heal. Will heal. But yeah, I do have to speak through clenched jaw. I want number to go up so I can watch the recoup and not worry about my job. That's what I'm saying, man. I want number to go up so I can do the recoup and not worry about it making money or have to do a job so I can do the recoup and just barely get by, or I have to sell shit and I don't want to because I feel like we're headed to a better place. If you understand, this is Fisherman .algo, a builder and a awesome community member in the Algorand community. Few understand how truly bad the situation is between Algorand Foundation and Algorand Technologies. I think you're doing the Lord's work calling attention to that. Very little we can do otherwise. Yeah, man. I mean, that is why I call it out. And that's why, I decided, okay, look, we'll call out Stacy, we'll call out Silvio, we'll call out even John, call out Gary, call them all out. What the fuck's going on? There's a complete breakdown between two critical entities of Algorand. And nobody knows why, except for obviously them. So that needs to be solved. And the people that need to move on need to move on. I don't know who it is, but something needs to happen. And I did feel like, all right, well, I have 20,000 followers on Twitter. I am willing to throw a grenade on things because I don't really know. I don't really care about anything really other than the truth and, and being able to provide for my family, which not necessarily, that doesn't really help me to do. You guys don't want me to be that. Nobody really a few of you do. Fisherman is one, apparently. And I know a few of you other, but most of you don't really want me to be calling these things out because it draws attention to negativity. And that makes you feel like that contributes to the price sucking. And you're like, well, what the fuck, bro? I don't want to see that. Fine, we can talk about it in chats, but why is that public facing? You're one of our guys. We need you to be supportive. We need you to be positive because you're one of the personalities of Algorand. And if you're constantly calling shit out, then that's just a bad look. And that resonates with me. But at the same time, like Fish is saying, if I don't do it, or, just some guys that you don't even know what their agenda is because they seem to just be perpetually angry in the least logical ways, like these attacks on John and all this stuff. Maybe John isn't what we all think he is. Maybe he is not as good as we think he is. Maybe he was presenting very well, but when it is in the background, it's not quite as impressive as we might find it. That's a possibility, but that's something that I'm willing to overlook because there's a whole team there. And he's very good public facing. And maybe he is very good behind the scenes. I have no idea. I'm just saying those types of haters don't get any traction because once you get into it, there's no real substance. But I'm actually positive about a lot of this stuff. And what I'm not positive about is this lack of cohesion and shared goals between the two largest and most important entities that kind of maintain Algorand, the foundation, which is supposed to increase adoption and support the community, and the technologies, which is maintaining the protocol and the bastion of who can make real changes. There needs to be some sort of cohesion, and it doesn't seem like leadership wants it. And I'm assuming that technologies, whether he's public facing or not, is still being primarily led by Silvio McCauley. And then obviously the foundation side with her on the board and as CEO is the leader. Stacey Warden is the leader over at Algorand Foundation. So there seems to be some sort of standoff between Stacey Warden and Silvio McCauley. And whether it's a standoff between Stacey Warden and somebody like Silvio, like his former like assistant or whatever, Jacopo, or whatever. I don't know. But at this point, I don't know. And I understand that I don't know. And I assume that they're going to figure it out. And hopefully to the benefit of a lot of you who have been supportive of Algorand for several years. Only ones mad are moon boys that can't handle reality. Rest of us appreciate the hell out of you and your honesty. Thank you, Adam. I appreciate that, brother. Caddy Smooth, definitely have to call it how it is, but we had a mere fraction of the fundamentals at 150. So price is really more of a macro issue at this point in the cycle. Adoption is way up. Just need that spark from QE. I mean, that's definitely true because when I started talking about Algorand, it was, I think, even pre Tiny Man and Yieldly. And so there was nothing. I mean, there was literally like COVID passports and the dreams of CBDCs. How far have we come, folks? I mean, we're seeing treasury bills on Algorand. Folks Finance is growing cross chain and still with Algorand being their top guy. But they've grown. Tiny Man has gotten better and they continue to iterate. Parawallet is continuing to get better and better and better. We have this prediction market that is doing fantastic. I don't know how well they're doing, but I think it's got the sparks of exciting things going on. We have cool dudes like D13 working at the foundation and creating things like homegrown, like a Myth Finance. There's a lot of cool shit to be excited about. And so much more. USDC on Coinbase, now crypto.com, right? You can really work on Algorand and do these things. So look, there's stuff going on for sure. There's also just tons of competition. So back then there wasn't a ton of competition like there is now. I mean, now we have, let's go back to, since apparently I'm not signing off. Let's go back to CoinMarketCap right now. Competition for Algorand. Okay, so these guys were there. XRP was there. That's not really competition for. I didn't share my scene. Oh, yeah, I did. XRP was there. BNB was there. Solana has basically been there. That's competition for Algorand. Cardano was there for the most part, and I guess that's competition for Algorand. But it doesn't really. They kind of jumped ship, and they want to be like a. They're trying to get this Bitcoin OS thing and Bitcoin Cardano. They're trying to become like the DeFi for Bitcoin, XRP. They feel like the UTXO decentralization narrative that they have is will be appealing to those communities, and they want to have that DeFi happen there. I don't really know or see. I don't know much about Cardano DeFi, and I'm not sure that the Cardano community knows much about Cardano DeFi. I feel like most of them are just like ADA enthusiasts staking it, and it's like a really fun community for them to be a part of. But I could be wrong about that. Tron's been around. Swee's new, another competitor. Avalanche, another competitor. That's a legit competitor to Algorand. Hedera, another competitor, but this is extraordinarily, centralized. But and they want to be permissioned. They are okay. That's their whole thing. Oh boy, Polkadot's not really a competitor. I don't see it as that at all. I just see that as a competitor to the internet and to really creating a world where you can really build these apps in a censorship scalable, censorship resistant, scalable way, decentralized way. I think it's really cool. I feel like Algorand is more of a consumer thing where the barrier to run a node is low. So you can really participate in consensus at a very accessible rate. You can transact super easy. The wallets are very Web2 intuitive. Like anybody can have access to Algorand, no matter if you're in Nigeria or if you're in England or wherever. And so I find them to be different things. I don't think that me talking about Polkadot is a shot at Algorand at all. Even if it was, I mean, I should be talking about whatever the fuck I want to, really. But still, I just don't see it. Monero's not a competitor, but man, that thing is doing well. Ever since they delisted that at Binance, I feel like they've pretty much ditched DeFi, and they have something that they're doing that I don't understand. Aptos competitor. I don't know. It's Ondo. Ondo's a competitor for certain angles. ICP competitor. I guess Mantle. I don't know. Polygon. So my point is that there's a lot of competitors. But yeah, I guess that's my point. I don't know. Anything else? All right. Well, we did that. Let's close this. I like it. I think it's better when I just kind of try to talk from my heart in it and try to, instead of trying to just read the news, just give you guys my thoughts on all this shit. Adoption is way up, blah, blah, blah. It's like trying to launch a boat during low tide. We ain't going nowhere. Also, Biotech is on Algorand. I don't know what Biotech is. What is Biotech? We literally have T-bills on change with BlackRock. That news would have taken us to 100 billion last fall. Been listening on X, popped over to say hello. Ice Age Trails, thank you, man. I gave away 20,000 ammo today. So we got Caddy Smooth and we got Riley Lewis. If they have Voy wallets, I'm going to send them 10,000 ammo each. Well, I think I have 50,000 in my Voy wallet to give away. And we'll keep doing that. We'll do it in 10,000 tranches and spread the love. Shout out to the Voy community. Shout out to the Algorand community and anybody else. Maza Voy says it was Bilal's fault. And he calls Balil. Bilal's a pretty tall guy. He made a misogynistic comment about a Cardano influencer making Algorand videos. And he said something along the lines of from tech to tits. That's exactly when like everybody gets upset about that. And then that's when he goes, what? I'm French. I used to have a Dutch roommate. I probably told the story 100 times, but I moved to New York City as a young man. And I'm in the dorm, right? Big mistake. So expensive. I'm in like the financial district. And I only stayed there for that one first fall semester. But I have a Dutch roommate. And then our neighbor, I don't even remember where he's from, but this dude looked so much like Sylvester Stallone. And he's like, look, dude, and it was Halloween, and we're all going to go out for Halloween in New York City. I've just moved there. I'm so overwhelmed. Like I'm from the Bay Area, but like New York City, especially back then, it was awesome. And it was actually like, post like Giuliani. So Giuliani sort of cleaned up the streets a little bit. So there was like a lot of energy. It was really good. And it was intimidating for sure for like kind of a small town kid like me to be living in that city with nobody really, just strangers, this weird guy from Holland and another guy from wherever, Georgia or something. And a Colombian roommate. I had a Colombian roommate. I had a Dutch roommate. And then I had some guy from like the South somewhere. I don't remember where, but he kind of kept to himself. I was more friends with the Colombian and the Dutch guy. And anyways, this neighbor, he had two costumes. And he's like, well, I was like, okay, I got to go out as something. And he had Rocky and he had Michael Jackson. And I was like, well, obviously you're going as Rocky. Like, dude looked exactly like a young Sylvester Stallone. So I decide to go as Michael Jackson. I think it's kind of funny, at this point, Michael Jackson was still alive. He had become very light skinned. So I felt like it was fine, right? It was going to be okay. And then my Dutch roommate doesn't really know what to be. And so he gets this wonderful idea. Mr. Dutch roommate, he comes out of the bathroom with an afro on and blackface. And he's like, I'm going as Count Blackula. And I look at him and I'm like, bro, no, dude. You are not going as Count Blackula and blackface, dude. I can't go out with you as Michael Jackson and you as Count Blackula. We're going to get murdered. Like, there's no way. I can't go with you. No, what? I'm Dodge. It's weird. It's fine. I'm Dodge. And I'm like, no, bro, no. I'm like, and I won't. So we go outside and I'm unwilling to walk near him. And we get to the subway and he already is completely scared out of his mind and is rushing into a bathroom to wipe off the blackface. And every single club we went into that Halloween, as I walked into the club, the song would change to a Michael Jackson song. And everybody would expect me to be like, all right, bro, you're going to be Michael Jackson? Let's see. I got very drunk that night. All right, folks. Hey, thank you for listening to that wonderful story. And my racist Dutch friends, I think in Holland, they have like their guy. Don't they have like a Pete or something? And during Christmas time, I think that type of thing is in their culture. So he probably didn't see it like that. Justin Trudeau, exactly. So he didn't know. He's true. He was Dutch. So I don't blame the Dutch guy for going as Count Blackula. He pivoted. He didn't listen to me, he didn't know me very well at that point. But I was like, no, dude, like we can't go as Michael Jackson and Count Blackula. Like I can't go out with you like this. I did not. I had like Japanese tourists taking pictures with me. Apparently, I kind of looked like Michael Jackson. Obviously pre-nose job. All right, folks. I'll see you tomorrow maybe.